Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video will be another video into my back to school series. So this is 5 tips for juniors. Alright, so this is the class of 2018, I believe, and I know it was really hard to condense this only into 5 tips because for juniors it's how they say the worst school year ever. Junior year for me was the hardest year ever, and I know a lot of people say that it's the hardest year for everybody, and for some it is and for some it's not, but I know that hopefully these tips help you out as you are transitioning into your junior year. You don't have to follow these tips. This is something that I think that I personally wish I would have done my junior year, and maybe it might help you out as you transition into your junior year. You don't have to follow it. I'm not like any licensed professional or anything, but hopefully it might help you out in the future. Tip number 1 is about stress. And so for me, this, like, for an example, would be AP classes. I took my very first AP class my junior year. It was AP Psychology. And so I took honor psychology my sophomore year, and I got an A. So I thought, oh, well, I love psychology. Taking AP Psychology I thought it would be easy. Because I was like, oh, well, I got an A in honors, so why not? I think getting an A in AP would be a breeze, right? No, I was so wrong. It was a lot more work than I expected it to be, AP, advanced placement class. And, that's what AP classes are. They're for you to challenge yourself, and I knew it was going to be a lot more work. I just didn't expect it to be that much work, and I was pushing myself as hard as I can. I tried studying, but, it didn't really work out in my favor, and I ended up finishing the class with not an A, not a B, but a C. And that was something that I was really hurt about, because up until that point I hadn't gotten a C since the 8th grade, and so that really hurt me and was really like, well, it was a really blow up my self-esteem. So classes like that, you have to really work yourself hard and not just take one expectation. And for me, AP classes just wasn't the right direction to go in, but that doesn't mean it's not the direction you should go in. Maybe AP classes are for you, maybe AP classes aren't for you. So if they aren't for you, then I suggest maybe not taking them, but colleges do look to see you challenge yourself a little bit. So try one class, and if it's not for you, maybe try another class that you may like. I love psychology. I do still love psychology, and actually, like I've said in previous videos, I'm going to college next month, and I'm trying to double major in writing and psychology. So I am, I just really love psychology. And even though that was kind of a little discouraging, I know now to try harder and try my best to not let stuff like that discourage me. So make sure you guys try to challenge yourself, and if something doesn't work out in your favor, maybe move on to something else, or if it just doesn't really work out, just try something else. But just never stop challenging yourself. Challenging yourself could always work out for you. Alright, so tip number 2 is about testing. I did mention this in my incoming sophomore video, which is the video previous to this. I'm trying to do cards now. It might be mentioned somewhere up in this area, maybe. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing. Alright, so I'm going to explain this whole PSAT mess. I did mention this in my incoming sophomore video, but I mentioned this incorrectly, and I deeply apologize for that. I said that they changed the plan test and the ACT. That was incorrect. And I did mention that in the description box of that video. They changed the SAT and the PSAT. So now for sophomores, it is called the PSAT 10. And for juniors, it is called the PSAT/NMSQT. Yeah, don't ask me why. That's just what it's called now. And so I actually took that test my junior year. I didn't want to, But the difference between that for juniors, you take that test and it qualifies you into like a national merit scholarship, and that's actually what MNSQT stands for, National Merit Scholarship Qualifier Test. And it puts you in so you can get scholarships for college, and if you get like a certain amount of score, you're entered into that contest to get scholarships for college. And it actually works out in your favor if you get high scores. Sadly, I did not, but it shows you also how the SAT looks like if you ever do take the SAT. And I did take the SAT my senior year, and it shows you what it looks like and a little bit of what it looks like. And they did change that to make it look like the new SAT, which they recently put out in March. So I do apologize that I did mess that up in the last video, but I'm just clarifying that there. I'm going to put the same links that I did in that video, just to clarify the difference between that down below. And also I'm putting links to the SAT and the ACT links down below as well, so you guys can see the difference. Or you can also take practice tests for that as well on those sites. For the SAT, you go on College Board, and so how College Board works is it shows you can take a bunch of practice tests. It shows you the prices for the test. You do have to pay for the test, unfortunately. Sadly, that's how America works and stuff, but that's what you have to do. But the test is extremely long. When I took the practice test, I was like shocked at how long it was, but it does show you exactly how the test actually is. And I took it I think 2 days before I actually took the SAT, and when I got my scores back, I was actually pretty surprised in how well I did the first time, and I just kept those scores. So the practice test actually really does help, so I do advise taking the practice test. It does work. Same with the the ACT. It does help when you take the practice test. I did not take the practice test for that, and that probably explains my scores. My scores are horrible. But yeah, and so you take that practice test, and it does help with your scores and everything. So I'll link descriptions to those two sites down below in the description box, and you guys can check those out. Alright, so tip number 3 talks about procrastination, aka a nightmare. So another reason why my AP class was a nightmare when I took AP Psychology, mostly because I was in Procrastination Nation. So because I thought I got an A in Honor Psychology, I thought another reason why I would get an A in AP Psychology. I was like, oh, I already know this information. So I was like, well, I could just look up the stuff from Honor Psychology. I don't need to study for AP Psychology. I'll be all right. However, I wasn't really prepared for all the vocab I needed to know. I wasn't prepared that I had to do vocabulary assignments for AP Psychology, and that was a nightmare as well. So I ended up procrastinating on those assignments. And so what actually happened was I ended up doing over 50 vocab words the day before test. And so instead of studying for my test, I ended up having just to do the vocab words. I would get up, and my school started at 7:25 in the morning. So what happened was I ended up getting it up at like 3 in the morning doing the vocab words. And then because my AP Psych class was the first class I had in the morning. So I'd get up at like 3 in the morning, do my vocab, finish up my vocab words, and then study none whatsoever for my test. And then I ended up failing all my tests. And so, yeah, that poor strategy. So what I say is make sure you guys do some study tips just to like not procrastinate. Please study. Please take time to study. And I also might link this down below. I just have to find the page for it. I have this app. Do a planner. Please buy a planner if you have it, or if you have a planner, buy a planner. Write down your homework assignments. Write down when stuff is due, and make sure you actually do the assignment, so you're not procrastinating and you're not turning in stuff late, and you're not doing stuff incorrectly and all that. And so for me, I'm buying a planner for college as well. But also for me, because I know I don't check my planner, I have a planner on my phone. It's called My Homework. And so how it works is you can put in your classes, you can put in like the class times and stuff. It also comes with like a calendar, like which days you have classes on. It's like a block schedule, or you can do whatever times you actually have classes. So I was on a block schedule all throughout high school, so it was like, and you can assign colors to each classes, and it's a really fun app, and I like it. And then you can run all your homework assignments, and you can put an alert to time you like when assignments are due. And so that's what I did, and I knew I would check it because it was on my phone, and what teenager isn't on their phone nowadays? So I might link that page down below in the description box either. It's a really great app. It has a lot of good ratings. It's free as well, so it's on both iPhone and Android. So, and I think it might also be on any tablet. It's on tablets and laptops and stuff like that. So it's a really manageable app that you guys can use to, if you don't actually use a planner, that you can just type in your assignments. But I just say also recommend using a regular planner, just because if your teachers don't like you, on your phone, they might think you're cheating if you're on your phone all the time, but you really just could be typing your homework. So, but I'll also link that down in the description box. I'll just have to find the page first. But I promise when you look down in the description box, it will be there. Alright, but yeah, just make sure you guys study and write down all your, homework. And hopefully everything will be alright. And then I hope you guys have a great year. Alright, this tip might be a little weird. Especially because considering you are in your junior year of high school. But I just thought it would be beneficial to know. It's to stay true to yourself. Make sure you don't, become someone you're not. The only reason I say this is I know it's weird because you're like, why would I not be myself? I'm a junior in high school, like, hello. But I changed a lot. I remember looking back at my junior year from when I looked back to myself in my freshman year. I'm a completely different person. I mean, not in a bad way, but in some ways, it's like I kind of wish I have that, how I was when I was a freshman. I kind of miss how I was. But, sometimes it's like you can't get that back. And for some people, they do change a lot when they're in, because, you're growing up. By this time, a lot of you are 16 or 17, or maybe even 18. So it kind of just depends on where you're going, and some people do change for the better, and unfortunately some people do change for the worse. But just do you, just do you. Try to change. If you do change for the better, but just try to be yourself and stay yourself, and don't change for the worse. I had a lot of drama my junior year. It wrecked me up pretty bad. It's not something I want you guys to go through, so I hope you guys have a wonderful school year and you don't wrap yourself up in that, and just focus on your studies and apply as much as you can. Like, this is the time where you have to start thinking about college and start thinking about what you want to do with your life, and and colleges start to look at this year the most, because this is the year that's the most important. So I hope you guys really focus as much as you can on this year, but at the same time have fun. And that leads me into my 5th tip. Have fun. I know I say this, and I know I've said this in like the past few videos, but really have fun in every year you have. High school is the last 4 years of your childhood, and then you're off into adulthood, and you never really know when you're going to have fun like this ever again. So have fun. And I know most schools, they actually do joint proms. My school was one of them. They do junior, senior proms. I know I'm originally, I live in North Carolina, but I'm originally from New Jersey. And I know some my friends, they always talk about their proms, but their proms don't do joint proms. They do only senior proms. But my schools always have a junior, senior prom. So they do. Some of you may have me going to prom this year. Some of you also may be driving this year, so that's really fun. And some of you may be going to parties for the first time this year. So make sure if you are going to parties, do responsible stuff. Do not do stuff that you wouldn't normally do. Don't try to get pressured into anything, but still have fun, have a great time. This is probably the last time you're going to be a kid. Some of you may be turning 18 later on, like after your junior year. you're starting, you know, college admissions process soon. And, you know, you just have to have fun, stay focused, and just try not to let the stress get to you. And I hope you guys really have fun with it. I honestly do. So I hope you really like this video. If you have any other suggestions, just leave it in the comments down below of any other videos you want me to do for this back to school series. I might do some, like I said, I might do some college videos soon. I will be doing maybe either later this week or maybe next week. I'll be doing the last video of just this particular this particular series, the senior video. Woo, fun for incoming seniors. That will be either later this week or next week. And like I said, just check the description box for all the stuff I mentioned that I will link below. And I hope, really guys, you have a good school year. I know some of you may have already started school. And, you know, just have fun with it, guys. And I'll see you next time.